The king of explosions himself, Michael Bay, is back to direct another film that is hitting cinemas this weekend. And the biggest question we all have regarding this film is this a good Michael Bay film, or is this another bad, boring Michael Bay film? Let's find out in the review. Welcome back, film fans. It is Brad from Let's Be Real Brad, and today on the channel, I want to talk to you guys about the brand new action thriller film called Ambulance. Ambulance is based off of the 2005 Danish film of the same name, and it is directed and produced by Michael Bay. The film stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Eiza Gonzalez. The film follows two adoptive siblings turned bank robbers who hijack an ambulance and take two first responders hostage. So I had the opportunity of checking this out in an early Dolby Vision screening, and I was super excited to do so because the projection for this movie looked so perfect, the sound quality was amazing, and in all honesty, I think it made this movie even better because I had a blast. This is the perfect popcorn movie that has a ton of action. It is super thrilling. It is on the edge of your seat the entire time, and I was never bored while watching it. So let's dive right into the positives first, and I have to start with the action sequences here, as I found the action in this movie to be quite thrilling and very entertaining. This movie features so many explosions and car wrecks and car chases and gunshots. This isn't some of the best action I have ever seen in a film, but I think for what this movie is going for, I think it gets the job done. The best aspect about this film has got to be the performances here, as Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II do a fantastic job in these roles, as they don't phone it in for 1 second, as this was something that I was definitely nervous about, as these two really good actors being in a Michael Bay film, but instead they go all out for this role, especially Jake Gyllenhaal, who is very reminiscent of Tom Cruise in Collateral. I thought these two had amazing chemistry together, as they're basically in the whole entire film, and they were just so explosive. Eiza Gonzalez is also in this movie, as well, as she plays one of the EMTs, and she was amazing. She added so much firepower, especially when you're working with Gyllenhaal and Abdul-Mateen II. You have a lot of competition to go through, and I think she held her own. I found the technical aspects of this movie, like the cinematography and the music, to be quite strong here, as this is a pretty good looking movie, as this movie is a very gritty, hard-nosed looking film set in Los Angeles, as you feel like Michael Bay and this team really wanted this to be a very realistic looking Los Angeles. This has a reminiscence of other crime thriller films like Heat and Collateral and other great movies. I also found the music in this movie to be very effective, especially the score that amps up this movie by 100 times, as this movie just felt so explosive and exciting. It's nothing amazing or very memorable, but it just adds to the excitement that I had with this movie, especially with some of the music choices that were added later on in the movie that I thought were very hilarious and felt very appropriate, especially for these characters, as you will know what I'm talking about when you watch the film. And the last positive I have with this movie is the amount of heart that this movie has, which was something that I wasn't expecting at all, and I actually like these characters. I found these characters to be very relatable and very complicated characters, and that's what made me enjoy them so much. Unfortunately, this film does have a ton of negatives here, and it does start with the directing. Michael Bay is one of those directors that likes to make his movies super exciting and over the top and so crazy with a ton of editing, and he has some very interesting shots in this movie, and that is no exception with this movie here, as there are a ton of shots in this movie that are just straight up bad, but at the same time, this movie does have some really interesting shots, especially with the car chases, as they all looked really good. Another negative I have with this movie is the screenplay, which is something I normally give in most Michael Bay films, as a lot of the dialogue here is pretty stupid and over the top, and it just doesn't make a sense, especially with the humor. Like, the humor is just not funny in this movie. There are a few tiny moments here and there that were pretty funny, but some of the jokes just do not land. And I don't know why that they were in this movie. I just wish Michael Bay movies just had better dialogue. And the last negative I have with this movie is the fact that this is a very basic action thriller film that does all the things that you expect for this type of movie. Wish this movie just did a little bit more and just be creative with some of the filmmaking here and just take it a step further like we have seen in other movies before. Overall, guys, Ambulance is exactly what you think it is based on the trailers alone. A very insane action thriller film that requires a ton of popcorn and a bunch of soda while watching this movie, as this is a very entertaining, edge of your seat type of movie with some really good performances that I think will be a perfect time to check out at the movie theaters if you like these type of films. I am giving Ambulance a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out this review, as I want to know below in the comment section, what is your top 5 favorite Michael Bay films of all time? I can't wait to hear about those. Before you guys check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you want to, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in the following video.